we're very social beings as humans, and so our nervous systems are constantly reacting and interacting with everyone around us. So those like reactions or like relational patterns are really like wired into us from the very beginning of our lives. So this kind of work, tracking how your body reacts to certain situations or people, can be a really useful tool in understanding our attachment patterns or styles. Maybe asking a client, how they're taking us in, and or if we notice that they're recoiling or have a reaction to something we're saying or doing, and seeing if that is something that's going on actually in the present moment, or if that's related to something in their relational history. And then if it is, spending some time with that, like what does that sensation remind you of, and where does that take you, and a way to kind of bring some physical awareness to how our nervous system reacts to different relationships.
Yeah, so we're talking about attachment, and there are different, we've got secure, avoidant, anxious, or maybe like the three big ones. And I can think of a client with a more avoidant style, and in their body, that might look like avoiding eye contact. It might look like their arms around themselves, like turned away. I tend to notice my clients with a more avoidant style tend to sit as far away from me as possible, because their body, it's not conscious, but that in their body, there's a sort of just a habit of avoiding contact like that, and that there's something uncomfortable. And that's something that when we bring attention to it, the bigger, more historical reasons for why they've learned to hold their body in that way, those can start to come to the forefront.
Yeah, that makes me think, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I just had this moment with a client who I would maybe think of as more avoidant, and he does cross his arms a lot. I was trying to think of a way to bring it up to him that might be useful, and I think I might have stolen this from another AEDP tape, but I was like, I noticed that you cross your arms a lot, and I've thought of it as a way of kind of like shutting me out before, but I'm actually seeing it as a way of you really protecting yourself and like kind of holding yourself and soothing yourself. And saying it in that way, he had never thought of it that way. He didn't really know he was doing it, but he had never thought of it in that way. And it opened up this whole space for us to talk about his attachment style and like how he's taking care of himself for his whole life. And
Yeah.
I think if I would have said it in a different way, it might have pushed him away more, but it kind of brought us closer together, which was really cool.
Totally. And it's like, and again, if we ignore what's happening in the body and we just have a conversation with someone, then this whole piece could be missed too.
Yeah.